Okay, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Depending on where you're joining us from. So just to get started, maybe you can drop in the chat box what country you're joining us from today, because I know we have people from different parts of the world. So represent where you are right now in the chat box and let us get this webinar started. Fantastic. I see Nigeria, another Nigeria. That's good. Where are our Ghanaians, our people from Kenya. Anyways, welcome to this section. My name is Peace Samuel, and I am thrilled to welcome you to today's webinar titled Study in Canada Without Breaking the Bank. Yes, I'm correct. You don't have to spend all your money for you to travel abroad to study in Canada. And this webinar is being hosted by SeamlessVisa, and we are your trusted partner in studying abroad and visa applications. We're so excited to have you here because today's section is designed to give you a clear and practical guidance about how you can achieve your dream of studying in Canada and how you can do it without draining your bank account. So whether you're just starting your research, maybe you're in your research phase or you're actively planning your application, you're in the right place because you're going to be getting everything you need from how to get student loans. You will even hear from Algoma University, one of and a top affordable university in Canada and what kind of opportunities they have for you. You're also going to hear from Seamless Visa, how we act as your bridge between your dream of studying abroad, helping you with everything, your admission applications, scholarships, statement of purpose, down to your visa. So if you have any questions along the way, you can feel free to drop your question in the chat box or the Q&A box. We will answer them at the end of the section. So without further ado, we're going to kick things off with our first speaker who will be talking about, our first speaker is from Algoma University, and he'll be talking about, of course, what Algoma has in store for us. So just give me a minute and I would be sharing my screen and he will take it off from there. Okay, I'm sure we can all see my screen. You can just give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen, so I know that you can all see my screen. Yes, so like I said, I'm your host for today. My name is Peace Samuel, and I'm a brand and communication specialist. And I'm the digital content strategist at Seamless Visa. So I specialize in crafting engaging, informative content that helps individuals navigate their study abroad and visa process with confidence. I have over 6 years of experience in communications, content strategy, and brand storytelling. So I'm basically passionate about, digital platforms to educate and empower you in making informed decisions about your academic and professional future. So just a little bit of ground rules or house rules while the section is about to start. So of course, everybody is muted, so you can't speak. But if you have any question while the section is going on, feel free to use either the chat box or the Q&A box to drop in your questions. And so let's maintain a respectful and positive environment. If you're experiencing any technical issues, let us know in the chat and we will assist you in solving it. And finally, stay connected with us. So, at the end, we want you to follow us on our social media platforms for more updates and resources to support your study abroad journey. So this webinar, we're going to be having 3 major segments. And the first segment is a university spotlight, Algoma University. And the second segment, we'll be talking about, smart money moves. So how to get loan services, loan opportunities, and budgeting for your study in Canada. And our final segment is from Seamless Visa, basically acting as your study abroad bridge. So what do we want you to take away from today's webinar? So we want you to walk away with, for you to get all the facts on tuition, scholarship, admission requirements, and why Algoma University is a top choice for you because it doesn't have postgraduate work programs restrictions. You're also going to learn about how student loan works, scholarship, and strategies to ease your financial journey. That's why I said you'll be studying in Canada on a budget because, we have financing options for you. And also, you will also find out about some other high-ranking universities with low tuition. In case you're like, oh, I don't have a lot of money, yeah, there are other schools with lower tuition that you can apply for. And finally, you will see how Seamless Visa can help you with your admissions down to approval stress-free. So these are meet our panelists. So we have Chibuzo Jibuno from Apply Board. He is a loan and financial service manager. We have Chamberlain. He's a regional manager Africa from Algoma University. And we have Adewale Bakare. He is an international student recruiter from Seamless Visa. So we're moving straight up to the first segment, and the first segment is from Algoma University, where we have Chamberlain. Chamberlain is the regional manager for Africa at Algoma University, Canada, where he leads strategic student recruitment initiatives across the continent. With over a decade of experience in international education and student mobility, he has worked closely with institutions and education partners to create accessible study pathways for African students. Chamberlain is passionate about promoting inclusive, affordable education and helping students navigate the transition to study abroad. Hi, Chamberlain. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are happy to have you. So, of course, we'll be kicking off your segment, and the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Peace. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. My name is Chamberlain, like she mentioned. I'm here. I hope you all can hear me very well. I'm here to put you through the university I work for, which is Algoma University. It's actually located in Ontario, in Canada. The good thing about studying in Canada is the fact that it offers students a lot of opportunities that other study destinations don't offer students. One of those opportunities include permanent residency routes, where students after studies can actually apply for their permanent residency, hence they don't have to return to their home country. And now I'll begin by what are the advantages that we offer at Algoma University. Firstly, we're a public university, and what this means is that academic excellence is our keyword as Algoma University. And currently, according to the IRCC, as of their report in December 2024, Algoma University has over 90% visa success rates in Africa at large. Our tuition fees are very affordable. Our deposits are also very affordable. We have very, very in-demand programs that I will discuss with you shortly. And all our programs come with postgraduate work permits. An interesting thing about Algoma University programs is that they offer students the opportunity of having the postgraduate work permits attached to the programs. I'll be sharing that and more with you and also with our campuses. We have two lovely campuses, the Brampton campus and of course the Sault Marie campus. So you might the difference between a public university and of course a private university. For some that do, I'll give them the benefit of doubt. For students, it's more likely you get a visa if you apply to a public university in Canada. And why? Because the public universities in Canada are highly rated, and secondly, they abide by the rules of the Canadian government, which means that from the stage of admission, you get the right, you need to have the right requirements to get at least admitted onto the program. So basically, we meet those immigration criteria at the admission stage. Hence, when and you want to apply for your visas, for example, you get your visas easily. Also, all Canadian families, students of all Canadian nationals basically attend public universities in Canada because they are the top universities. And also, studying in Canada, in a public university in Canada means that you will get jobs easily. Now, how can a degree be beneficial to you? For you to get a job, to work or take advantage of your postgraduate work, you need to first of all have a sort of academic qualification from a Canadian institution. What this means is, for example, you're a WAEC holder and you want to attain a degree, undergraduate program degree, you can come to Algoma University. After 3 years of study, you can go straight into employment. If you're a degree holder and you are maybe you want to do a 1-year program, you can actually do the postgraduate certificate program and employment as well. If you have a very high classification of degree, like a 2-1 or a first class, you can come on to Algoma University and do a master's program, and of course go straight into employment. And also the advantage of coming to study in a master's program at Algoma means that you can also come with your dependents. Right. So visa success, like I mentioned, currently the visa success rates for Africa, according to the RCC of report, is very, very high for Algoma University being a public university. And this gives you a good advantage because as an African student or as an international student from Africa, you notice that a lot of students will get a lot of visa refusals. And the reason why they get refusals is, one, they don't have the right documentations, or basically they do not get the right counseling at the initial stage. So I advise everyone to, of course, go through seamless visas, and they will put you from the beginning to the end. Hence, if you have issues with your visas, you can always reach out to me. Now, our programs all come with postgraduate work permits, both our bachelor's degree program, our master's degree program. For our undergraduate program, it comes with 3 years postgraduate work permit. Our undergraduate program also comes with 1 year internship, which means that you can decide to do a co-op, and also our master's program comes with 3 years postgraduate work permit as well. So we move on to the next slide. Now we have before now we just had 2 master's program. That is the Masters of Computer Science taught, and also Masters of Science in Biology, which is TC space. We've introduced 2 master's program. That is Masters of Global Business and Economy, and also Masters of Science in Business Analytics. So these programs allow all applicants to come with their dependents. For example, if you're a man and you have wives and children, if you come onto this program, you will be able to travel with your family and come study with us. Now, for our master's program, requirements are quite high. So if you meet those academic requirements, then of course you can come study with us. So I will go through the academic requirements for all our programs. Like I said, we offer the undergraduate program, the postgraduate certificate program, and also the master's program. Now, for the undergraduate program, all you need is your WAEC or your NECO with at least 5 credits. If you have at least a minimum of a CIS-5 in English, you get exempted from an English test. If for the postgraduate certificate program, you only need your 2nd class lower degree, a 3rd class or HND upper credits. For the master's degree, you will need either to have a 1st class or a 2nd class upper degree qualification. Now, also for the master's program, you do not require an English language test for any of our master's program requirements. Now, the in-demand programs that we have at Algoma University includes our bachelor's in computer science, which has a wonderful scholarship of 10,000 Canadian dollars, automatic scholarship, which means that as soon as you apply with your WAEC or NECO result, 10,000 Canadian dollars scholarship towards your tuition fee. Our master's in computer science program, we have 2 masters now in computer science. We have the thesis base, which is for research students, and we also have that for the taught students. We also have graduate certificate program in information technology, which is very, very popular here in this region. That means for our graduate certificate program, regardless of your academic background, you can come study that program. For example, if you have a bachelor's degree or the upper credits in marketing, you can come do a program in information technology. Now, you can move on. Now, most of our undergraduate program, like I did mention, comes with co-op, which means it has an option of 1 additional year of work experience. The work experience is related to the field of study. For example, if you're studying business administration, your co-op will be in an industry where that gives you the extra edge when it comes to when you graduate. You're able to transition easily into the work environment in Canada. Employers would easily employ you because okay, we can move on now. Now, we also have the Faculty of Science, where we have our biology for students that are into biology. We also have the highly in-demand program environmental science. So for students that are into how the environment works and how in Canada, environmental science is something that they take very 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 serious, because everybody is trying to build a green environment. So environmental science is a program that I can assure you that once you do study this program, you will get jobs even before you graduate. We'll move on to the next slide. Most of all our undergraduate programs are all 3-year programs. But I did mention that there is an option for co-op. Co-op is the placement year that you can decide to add, which makes it 4 years. So the placement year is you get paid while you're studying. So you'll be working and for that 1 year in a related field of study, and you would also get paid. So it gives the student 1 year full work experience, and they can also use that to transition to their professional career. Now we move on to the next slide. Now we come to the figures. Our tuition fee for all our undergraduate program, exclusive of scholarship, is 20,500 Canadian dollars. For the graduate certificate program, it's 17,500. For our master's in computer science program, it's 24,500. Tuition deposit is at 2,000 Canadian dollars, and currently we are not accepting, or rather we are discounting our master's program deposits at 0. But for Nigeria, I would advise you to at least pay a minimum of 2,000 Canadian dollars as your tuition deposit. You can see our tuition deposits are very, very affordable, because 2,000 Canadian dollars is about 2 million naira. Now, moving on to scholarships, we currently offer about 30 million Canadian dollars scholarship across board. So we have the merit scholarship of up to 5,000 Canadian dollars. The merit scholarship are for undergraduate students that have at least a lot of A's in their WAEC or NECO. So this is at the discretion of the admissions manager. For example, if you have like 7 A's in your WAEC or in your NECO result, then of course you get up to 5,000 Canadian dollars renewable scholarship. So that means that when you get the scholarship in the first year, you get in the second year, you also get in your final year as well. Now we'll move on to the next slide. Now, in terms of the computer science scholarship for the undergraduate program, like I mentioned earlier, it's up to 10,000 Canadian dollars scholarship at 2,500 Canadian dollars scholarship per year. Well, what this means is if you are going for the 3-year program, it means that you get a total of 7,500 Canadian dollars automatic scholarship. If you're going with the option of the co-op, which is a 4-year program, then you get a total of 10,000 Canadian dollars scholarship as well. So move on. As well, so we have 2 beautiful campuses. We have the Sault Ste. Marie campus, and we also have the Brampton campus. The Brampton campus is more of a city campus, so it has a lot of businesses. Students are able to engage more. There are a lot of social engagements, activities associated with living in a big city. A lot of big businesses. That means students have a lot of part-time jobs. There's a lot of students social interactions. There is the theater. There is the cinema. There are a lot of bars, so it's more of a mega city where students can take advantage of moving from one to the other. There's an international airport there as well, so students are able to move across Canada easily, or across the North America easily, or even international as well. So, but we'll move to the next slide. We have our second campus, which is of course the Sault Ste. Marie campus. It's more of a reserved campus. This campus is very unique for international students. I always promote this campus because it has its own unique features. It has a lot of green environment. It's the home of the Aborigines in Canada. It also offers the student the unique chance of having permanent residency through the RCIP program, which is the Rural Community Immigration Program. So if you are interested in having your permanent residency while you study at Algoma University, please do choose the Sault Ste. Marie campus. It has the easiest route for you to have your permanent residency in Canada. It also has a lot of job opportunities. It has on-campus accommodation, and it has a lot of jobs in aviation management and manufacturing as well. So the important dates that we have are master's deadline dates. So applications will be closing towards the end of this month. So if you intend to make your application, please make your application now. The application totally, you can make your application now. Then secondly, if you're going to make your deposits, please do make your deposit before the first week of July. And another important thing I want to also state now is our master's program is September to September. So the September intake is actually the deadline has passed yesterday. So for students that are interested in the undergraduate program and postgraduate certificate program, we have the September intake. We also have the January intake. So we have 3 major intakes in a year. We have the January intake, we have the May intake, and we also the September intake. So we have 3 intakes in a year. So even if you miss one, you can always join the next one. But for the master's program currently, it's only for the September intake. So thank you very much for your time. I'm sure you have questions. You can pass it on to Peace to pass it on to me. Thank you very much, Peace, for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chamberlain. Thank you so much for that section. So if you have any questions regarding Algoma University, now is the best time to drop your questions in the Q&A box. Your questions could be regarding application deadline, programs, scholarship, tuition, whatever it is, right? Even if you did not cover it, but you have any question regarding to the school, you're free to drop your question right now in the chat box while we move on to our second segment for the day. And our second speaker is Chibuzo Jibuno. So he is a loan and financial service manager. So Chibuzo is a seasoned financial services manager at Apply Board with over 6 years of experience spanning finance, educational consulting, and international development. He has a strong background in relationship management and strategic partnerships and brings deep expertise in international education loans, financial inclusion, and budgeting strategies for students. Chibuzo is passionate about creating meaningful impact. He is committed to helping international students make smart financial decisions as they pursue their education abroad. Chibuzo, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. And yeah, so over to you for your next segment.
Thank you so much, Peace. How I love to see that smile all the time. So for everybody on the call, like Peace had already said, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. I will walk us through everything we need to know about loans and budgeting, which is like the crux of the matter for all of us who are, or most of us who are looking at studying abroad. So our focus today would be Canada. So first and foremost, what are these loans? Like the previous speaker mentioned, he touched on scholarships. So this is not a scholarship. So I don't want to assume. This means that whatever funding you're going to be getting at an agreed time, put in perspective with everything calculated, you're going to have to pay back whatever that you decide to take. So it is a remuneration that goes out to you, but it has to be paid back just to be able to cover for whatever that you've taken it for. And of course, it also helps you to just better plan yourself so you're not worried about finances anymore, and then gives you a little stability factor as a student. Our loans are no collateral, no co-signer. So for you as a student, we're saying that you do not need to bring in your very rich uncle to stand in with you to stand as a co-signer, or you need to give us land documents. So we don't need any of that. Completely no collateral, no co-signer. We have the best approval rate in the market at over 60%. We can also begin to check for your eligibility even before you get an offer. So after now, you reach out to Peace, you need to apply to one of the institutions, and then you've made that application, right? We're saying that we can begin to process your loan side by side. So we don't need you to already have an offer later before we begin to process that. So simultaneously, we can also begin to check if you're actually eligible to get these loans. We have fast processing. So here you can see that we've said, within 30 minutes, but so that we don't overpromise and underdeliver, in 24 hours after we've gotten all of your documents, we would submit them to our financial partners and be able to get a feedback, on your eligibility status in under 24 hours. We are going to also be providing you as a student what we call visa support letters. So what this does for you is it can, just like the name implies, it can be used for visa purposes. So for your visa interviews and for your I-20 applications. So this helps to increase your chances of visa approval. So our financial partners are going to be issuing you that, and you can use that. For those who are also looking at going, anywhere you need to go into process cars, this can also actually be used. These loans are exclusive, of course, to most of the universities we have in Canada. So Peace after now would walk you through a lot of that. So we have an array of schools that are loan eligible in Canada. So you can reach out and find out, those schools. Of course, for you, you're going to be getting a dedicated loan manager. So myself, I'm on ground. I also work with some team members across across different time zones who will be able to attend to you at every point in time without us losing touch. Um, we are, of course, going to be there to assist you even while you arrive at your destination. Next slide, please. All right. So first and foremost, what are we doing for you as a student? We're creating and we're giving you financing, which is the major. So when we say loans, it's actually finance. So for you, this helps to create a level of stability. So you're not worried so much as, so take Canada, for instance, as our target destination this afternoon. We're saying that you do not need to worry about things like living expenses, which is covered for some institutions in Canada. We are also taking care of course, your tuition fee is covered, living expenses, and then for most of the institutions we have in Canada as well, we are also taking care of everything that you need to do even before you get your visa. So any processing fees, anything in that light for us, for those who are looking at going to Canada, we also will be able to help you take care of that. With our visa support letter, we are going to be helping to improve the visa chances for you and then help to minimize postponements on your registration deposits so that you can pay them on time. Awesome. So how do we go about this? First and foremost, you reach out to SeamlessVisa, who are our partners, and then you submit your interest. This is the institution that, so after now as well, what we're going to be doing is just so that it's very clearly stated out for you. Let me put this in context. So across Canada, it's not all of the institutions in Canada that are loan eligible, right? So what this also means is that for every single school that we have as loan eligible in Canada, you need to have insight into them. You need to have access to this school. So a list is going to also be shared to you. So after now, like I said, reach out to Peace and then they will share that list with you so that you can have insight into the schools that are loan eligible. So across Canada, it's not all of the schools, and it is only MBA programs. So masters, MBAs, MAs, and PG programs. So we don't support bachelor's programs at the moment for loans. We also do not support PhD programs, so that you just keep that top of mind. So while you're looking at those eligible institutions, you also need to look out for the particular program. So it's not just the school, and it's not just the school we're talking of now for being loan eligible. We're also saying you need to check out for the program that you're applying for. So for all of the schools that are loan eligible, let me take, for instance, one of so take Algoma University. We're in talks with Algoma University now. Very soon, we are hoping that we're smoothing things out, and then they will come on board as one of those loan eligible institutions. Take Algoma, for instance. Algoma has an array of programs. So on the graduate side of things and postgraduate side. So on the postgraduate side, all of the courses that they have, amazing courses. You would find out when we share that list with you that it's not all of these courses that they offer as a school that are loan eligible. So we are saying that when you also check out that the school is loan eligible, you do a deep dive to find out that the particular program that you want to go for is also captured in that list. So it's a quite comprehensive list. You see the program you're going for, and then of course you check for the school. So these are the two things you must look out for to make sure that you are good to go at that first stage. So you submit your interest. We're going to request for some documentation from you. So I'm going to run you through the documentation after now. So some basic things, literally, but we'll get that. When we receive it, we're going to submit it to the bank's portal. So the way it works with us is we have these exclusive partnerships with the financial institutions. So they are the ones who we are going to submit these documents when we get them. So we submit it to them. They are then going to profile you to make sure that you fit the right profile, right? We're going to talk about that later. So they profile you, and then of course they approve your loan. It's not only approvals, I must say. So sometimes they would also reject. So what happens with us is when they reject an application for loans, what we can then do is we go back to say, we had actually submitted all of the required documents. What are we missing out on? And then they can say, okay, this is one of the reasons why this student was actually, this application was rejected. And then we can reverse engineer that application, put it all together better, and then we can resubmit. So we've seen applications after 3 times of submission and rejection, and then on the 4th time of trial, it was approved. So you don't need to worry about that. So just get us all the documents that we need. And then after approval, of course, we get disbursement. All of this stage, as a student, you don't need to worry about any of this. We are going to be managing it. So just be responsive when we reach out. So we're going to also need to verify your email address when we are submitting that application, right? So we'd need you to be responsive at the time. So that's basically all we needed from you, so that when we create your profile or when we need the documents, we'll be able to get you on time so that we can keep between the turnaround time to give you a response on your loan application. So at the end of that, we get disbursement. All right, next slide, please. So this is where I would need your very, very rapt attention, right? First and foremost, the terms. We are saying that we're doing a minimum of $10,000 and a maximum of $100,000. So if you're requesting for anything lower than $10,000, we can't help you at the time. And if it's a maximum of over $100,000, we also may not be able to help you. $50,000 is the maximum we can do per academic term. And then we can cover for your post-visa tuition fees, right? Across any of the destinations you're going to in Canada. There's a 10 to 20 year principal repayment period. I'm telling you this, but I don't want you to stick to 20 years. Please, if you can't pay it out in less than 10 years, please pay it out, right? I don't advise that students stay so much on the loan, because the way it works is the more you stay on it, the more you pay, right? Your interest is per annum. So for every year you don't pay, you have to pay the interest for that year. You also do have 6 months of grace period, right? After graduation. So let us assume you do a program for 18 months. What it means is that you have another 6 months in addition to that 18 months program before you can then begin to pay something on your loan. And like I said, the 10 to 20 year is just your principal repayment period. So that's how long you have to pay back that loan. And then you have the option. So we know that a lot of people have the 20 hours per week to work. So if you're using your 20 hours per week for work, what that means is that you should be able to take care of the interest side of things for you. So the interest begins to count the year the loan is disbursed to you as a student. So you can begin to take care of it while you're schooling. If you do have the means to clear out your loan, even while you're studying, so some amazing money comes into your account, or you land some amazing job, you want to clear out the loan so that you can face your life squarely on your own terms financially, there are no prepayment penalty charges, right? I need to say that again. There are no prepayment penalty charges. So what happens when you get the loan is it's going to be calculated for you. So I don't know if I can catch anybody's name here. Okay, I can't see the names fully. I just wanted to use one of hers. So let me just say Blessing, right? So Blessing takes a loan for 6 years. So she tells us, we're going to ask Blessing, how long do you want this loan to last? How long do you intend to pay out? And then she says, okay, it's going to last for, I should be able to pay out in 6 years. So in that 6 years, what we're going to do is we're going to calculate that her interest and her principal put together. And then we're going to spread it across 7 years or 6 years as she has agreed. So she's going to be seeing in black and white what she is meant to pay every month for the next 7 years. So there's not going to be any ambiguity around what she should pay, on and on. So it's going to be calculated squarely so that she can see it. But no prepayment penalty charges now implies that if some money comes into her hand and she decides to clear it out in 2 months instead of 6 years or in 6 months. So what we're going to do is the agreed interest is going to be prorated downwards, and then Blessing will have to pay exactly what she's meant to pay at that time. So that's how that works. And then, of course, loan eligible countries, Canada is our focus today. We have destinations in US, UK, and Australia. Of course, like I mentioned, Masters, MBA, ME, and PG are the programs that we support. Interest starts at 9.54 to 17, but I don't think this is something you need to worry yourself about. When we get a percentage that is high, say We've not even had a 17% in a while. So we get a 16%. We go back and say, we think this is too high. Can we negotiate a percentage discount? And then they look at your profile again, get back to us with the best interest rate, and then we push it up from there. Loan support later, like I mentioned, will be given to you as a student. So what this helps you do is it states clearly that we as a financial partner, we're taking care of blessings, tuition fees to the tune of this amount. We're taking care of our living expenses to the tune of this amount. We're doing all of this, and it's going to be stated in that letter. So that letter can be used for in any case where a student needs to provide any, say, proof of funds or anything in that light. Disbursement goes directly to, disbursement does not go to your account so that we don't hear stories that touch, right? Disbursement goes directly from our financial partners to your school. So you've gotten the admission, we have confirmed that you're enrolled and that your visa has been approved. So once we confirm these two terms, we are able to then disburse that fund to your school. So it doesn't go to your own account. Even in cases where we are taking care of your living expenses, you know, your school will have to disburse that funds to you. So the financial partner does not do that. And of course, you don't need to worry about the transfer, the fluctuating nature of the naira. We have a service that takes care of that and keeps it steady for you throughout your process. Next slide, please. All right, so this is exactly what I need from you. Your reference details. So the full name of the reference, the relationship you have with the reference, the contact number of the reference, and their email ID. So this should be a professional reference. So we don't want your mom or your dad or your uncle, even if they are well placed, we always do prefer a professional reference, someone who has supervised you in any capacity at work or at school or any of that. So that's what we need. And then your international passport, your resume. If you have your university offer letter as at the point of application, amazing. But if you don't, not a problem. Your bachelor's transcript, government ID, English proficiency scorecard. So Mohammed says they can't see the presentation. I actually can. Mohammed, can you hear me though? Okay, I will just continue. I think it might be okay. Awesome. If you can hear me, not a problem. So Peace will be able to also share this document requirements with all of us. So it's not something we should worry about. So we need your international passport data page. We need the resume. We need your offer letter if you already have it handy. Your bachelor's transcript compulsory. Your government ID. This is in addition to the international passport. So for Nigerians here, we are saying your voter's card or your national ID or your driver's license. Any of this in addition to your international passport. And then if you have an English proficiency scorecard, if you've taken an English proficiency test before now, anyone at all, IELTS, TOEFLs, GRE, any of them at all, we are very open to having that. And then of course we need a proof of your address. So proof of your address means like your NEPA bill, rent agreement, an affidavit, anything that just shows us that you've lived in your particular location for at least 3 months. So that's basically all we need. And I think that will be all for my section. I will take questions now. Okay, of course. Thank you so much, P. So this is after we have checked your eligibility. So all of those documents that I mentioned are what we need for us to check if you are eligible for the loans. So when we submit your profile and then it comes back positive that yes, you are eligible, we are going to be needing basically just the first item here, which is proof of additional funds for the last 3 months. It doesn't have to be in your name, it could be in anyone's name, right? So 3 months savings account showing, some savings in your name or in the person's name, whoever, just some considerable amount of money. So most of the time we always advise if you can have a tuition deposit equivalent on that bank statement. And then of course, if you've paid your tuition deposit already, the receipt from the tuition deposit can be used as this proof of additional funds, and it serves. So that's about it. We already mentioned that I'm going to be needing your proof of home country address, which is bank statement, utility bill, or rent agreement. Thank you so much. I will take questions now. Over to you, please. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Thank you so much, Chibuzor. Thank you for that section. So if you have any question regarding to loans, you can drop them in the Q&A box. And after our last segment, we will address every question that has been dropped. So thank you so much for that section. And now we will move in forward to our last segment for the day. And our last speaker for today is Adewale Bakare. Adewale is an international student recruiter with over 6 years of experience in fulfilling travel dreams for students at SeamlessVisa. He is passionate about helping more students achieve their study abroad dreams the right way. Adewale, thank you so much for joining us today. Over to you. Let's just help us kick off your segment.
Thank you very much. I want to ask if everyone could hear me. Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you. Can others, if you can hear him, you can also just, yeah, okay, thumbs up. Thank you.
Very well, very well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Chamberlain and Mr. Chibuzo, as well for those segments, for taking us through what Algoma does, and how you can also help students secure loans to move further with their study abroad dreams. So, which brings us to our last segment, having SeamlessVisa being the bind that brings those processes together, and we simplify those processes and help you achieve your study abroad goals. So for this segment, we'll be talking about four sections. The first would be giving you a list of other schools that have very affordable tuition and also offer postgraduate work permit programs as well. Secondly, we'll be talking about how SeamlessVisa can assist you with you know getting your admissions, reviewing your file, and also taking you through the visa application process. Third, we'll be looking at one of our students and how she can talk about how she speaks of our services, right? And then lastly, we'll discuss how to get started. Moving forward, yes. So before we, delve deeper, I want to, just try to shake us up a little bit. You could answer this question in the chat section, and the question is, how much is the current amount for students' living expenses in Canada per year? Option one is 23,635. Option B is 20,635. And option C is 26,635. We can answer this question in the chat box. Thank you. Give us a few seconds as we do that, and then we can move forward. I can't see your answers rolling in. You could respond in the chat box just to make sure we are, attentive and yeah, we are still here. Thank you. Okay, thank you for your response. Thank you for your response as well. Thank you. I'm seeing a lot of correct answers here and a lot of tad bit wrong answers. We'll tell you the answers after this segment. Thank you so much for taking part of the activity. So we could move forward. The first school we'll be looking at that also offers, affordable tuition and scholarship opportunities in Canada is the University of Prince Edward Island. The University of Prince Edward Island is um, it's located in the smallest province in Canada. That's a fun fact. Prince Edward Island is the smallest, with also the smallest population in Canada. And they offer really, really affordable tuition at the University of Prince Edward Island. As we can see in the slides here, we have the Masters of Arts in Island Studies, which they offer for 10,000. 10,050 Canadian dollars per year. And these fees would attract an automatic scholarship upon your admission. So, and then the scholarship amounts are a tad bit low because their fees are already low. So you'll be getting even like a 500 Canadian dollar or 1,500 Canadian dollar discount on your tuition depending on your program and other factors. We can move on to the next institution. Yes, so the next institution is Memorial University of Newfoundland. Right. Another fun fact about this university is it's the only university in Newfoundland and Labrador. That's another province in Canada where they also take up that they take up that opportunity to get the best students from around the world to come study at Newfoundland and Labrador. Right. They also offer a wide range of programs, especially in science and research. Um, they also offer generous funding for graduate students, and they'll pay you to be in selected master's programs in their institution as well. And then the cost of living in St. John. St. John is a city in Newfoundland, which is the most popular city. And Newfoundland is also a small uh, province with less population as well, which the cost of living is relatable, and then it is more attracting to international students. They offer programs in Masters of Applied Science, and this is one of the cheapest uh, master's program you can apply for. They also have scholarship opportunities as well, which ranges from about 1,000 to about 3,000 Canadian dollars after you are already a student in that institution. And then lastly, we'll be talking about Branding University. So Branding University is in Manitoba. I'm sure we are all familiar with Manitoba. After Ontario, Alberta, everybody is very much more familiar with Manitoba. Manitoba is also one of the coldest provinces in Canada. It's the highest or the coldest. Well, and then they offer really, really low tuition on selected programs as well. So Branding University started with study of arts. So if you are more inclined to art studies, I think Branding University is for you because they take up that pride uh, in paying more attention to art studies as well. They also offer courses in all other in all other areas as well, in science and business, rural development. But arts and performance and literature is their main focus, and it's the lowest we've seen, right, across the all boards, while offering 3,850 Canadian dollars. There's a type of error there. So it's 3,850 Canadian dollars per year for the Master of Arts in Rural Development, graduate diploma as well in rural development also has the same tuition range. And Brandon University also is in a small city called Brandon, right? It's also a small city um, in the province of Manitoba, right? And then they have small classrooms that makes the lecturers or professors have more personal interaction with their students, and then students, international students, have the opportunity to express themselves and get the best of their learning. They also have scholarship opportunities for international students, ranging from 500 Canadian dollars to about 2,500 Canadian dollars on your tuition. So those are the schools that we'll be talking about in this webinar. And how can we at Seamless Visa support and help you, get started, or an overall overview of how we can help you, secure your study abroad dreams? First is your admissions, right? So the first thing we'd like to do at Seamless Visa is we like to speak to you one-on-one to get your background, to know where you're coming from and where you want to go, right? And then we can also, discuss your budgeting and secure a wide range of admission packages, right, to schools that matches that budget, and then we can help you to get your goals. Also, we also like to look at scholarship guidance, right? After securing your admission in Canada, then we can help to also look at scholarship opportunities that you are eligible for, and then we can assist you with the process on that as well. And also, lastly, is your visa application process. We help students to go through the process of the study application. We help you create your IRCC portal um, on their website, and then fill out the forms on your behalf, help you gather your documents, also give you general consultation on how the process is. And we also have a transparent policy where all you just have to do is check your emails, right, and give us updates from schools and also from your study from the IRCC as well. So we'll be working with you hand in hand to make your study abroad dreams possible. I just wanted to see Seamless Visa as one big family that is more focused on your case, right? And we want to, help you achieve your study abroad goals. Um, our next section, this is from one of our students that recently, worked with us at Seamless Visa, and are expressing, how our processes and our work rates has helped her to achieve her admission and, scholarship at various institutions as well. Because when you work at Seamless, when you work with us at Seamless Visa, we don't only look at one school, we look at a wide range of opportunities that you're eligible for, and then we can help you to secure those admissions, and then to see the one you would want to proceed with. So as you can see in the testimonial, we're able to help Tonia achieve that as well. And then lastly, how can you get started? So what are the next steps? You could go on our website at seamlessvisa.com/study-abroad to schedule a one-on-one consultation where we can talk to you and know, where you currently are, or where you've been, where you currently are, and where you want to go on your study abroad journey. So thank you very much for joining and listening to this session. Over to you, Peace.
Okay, thank you so much, Wally. Thank you for that section. I hope we've been able to learn a thing or two from all the segments. And now it's time for questions. So if you have any question, now will be the best time to drop it in the Q&A box. Q&A box, not the chat box, the Q&A box. So I mean, for also, if you don't mind speaking, you can raise up your hand and I would unmute you and you can speak and ask your question. Alternatively, like I said, you can drop your question in the Q&A box. And yeah, I mean, there's no wrong question. And finally, if any of your question is not addressed here because of maybe time constraints, you can feel free to reach out to us via our email at admissions@seamlessvisa.com. I think I'll be asking the first question because we have a couple of questions that has been dropped. And this question, I will take the first one that applies to Algoma University because our speaker from Algoma will soon be leaving. Okay, so a question from Osihena says, are there opportunities for on-campus paid student employment roles? So this question is for you, Chamberlain. Are there opportunities for on-campus paid student employment roles in Algoma?
Yeah, thank you very much, Peace, and thank you for the person that sent the question. Like I did mention, we have students. Your study permit allows you to work 24 hours per week. So that's during study time. So when you can work unlimited times when you're on a semester break. So in terms of job opportunities, we have the job hub where students can apply for part-time jobs, either on campus, because we have student services, we have a lot of roles as well. So students can actually get employment on campus, or of course they can get employment with third-party employment providers like job agencies in town. So students can actually get jobs from any part, not just the university associated recruitment agencies. So you can actually get on-campus work, that's working part-time on campus. That way you're inside the campus, or you can choose to get a job outside campus, which can be highly paid as compared to those that are on campus. I hope this answers your question. Thank you.
I'm so sorry. So thank you so much, Chamberlain. I hope Osihena, I hope he was able to answer your question and you have better clarity. And if you have more questions or you need further clarification, of course, you can book a consultation with us and we would help you with that. I have another question, but I think I would want this person to clarify. So this question says, is it possible for someone with a degree in business administration to pursue a master's in environmental science? So I think this is Chinyere. Is this question related to Algoma University or just studying or any university in Canada in general? So that I know if Chamberlain will address your question or I would give this to Wale. Okay, Algoma, I think Algoma. So Chamberlain, this is another question for you. So is it possible for someone with a degree in business administration to pursue a master's in environmental science in Algoma?
Okay, we don't actually have a master's in environmental science. So a student with a degree in business can either go for the master's in global business and economy, or they can decide to go for the master's in business analytics. So those are the two available master's programs that will be suitable for that student. It has all the same opportunities that all the masters will give. They have opportunity to get job. They also have the 3 years postgraduate work permit attached to the program. They also have the advantage of traveling with their loved ones, I mean their dependents. So those are the things that of course are associated with studying at Algoma University and also studying program. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that question. Okay, I'm trying to juggle. So this is why I wanted every question to be in the Q&A box, because I'm trying to juggle between the chat box and the Q&A box to get all the questions that were asked. But I have another question, and I think this question is directed to Chibuzo. So he said, does that mean I can apply for a loan even before securing an admission? So basically, can I apply for a loan before securing admission?
Yeah, the answer is yes. Yes, you can. You can. So what happens typically is we need to begin to review your documents. So we don't need your offer letter at that stage. We have the other documents that we need to submit to the financial partners, and they can work with that. So there's going to do a deep dive. There's going to be a deep dive into your credit history. A credit check is going to be done. We have a credit bureau in Nigeria. So we're going to find out if you have any outstanding loans. So all of that can be done even before you get your offer letter. So at that stage, offer letter is needed when we need to disburse. So we need to confirm that you are actually enrolled in that university. So at that point, before disbursement happens, we must have confirmed that you have an offer from the university. But can you submit your loan application? Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. I think that's very clear, and whoever asked that question must have gotten solid clarification. I have another question, and this is still regarding loans. Is that if I choose to pay out my loans before the agreed dates, before the agreed date, will I still be paying the interest accrued for the year?
No, you would not need to pay. You would need to pay the interest. So the way it works is, I think I mentioned this, but let me also reiterate. When you take the loan, it's going to be put out clearly how much you need to pay every month. So there's a calculation that's going to be done. But when you then decide to clear out in, say, 2 months into your payment tenure, whatever has been calculated for the year, right, is going to be prorated to 2 months. So the year is 12 months. So it's going to be prorated down to 2 months or whenever that you're deciding to pay out. So that is the interest that you would be paying. So it's not, yes, it's per annum, but it's not calculated on an annual basis. The annual basis calculation is done just for the prorated time that you need to pay, say 7 years. So we need to do that calculation using that interest rate. And then, of course, that interest rate, if you're going to be paying in less than a year, it's going to be prorated downwards to the exact month that you're paying out.
Great. I think that's also clear. I understood it clearly. So I hope that whoever asked this question, you've gotten clarification. I have another question. I think this question is I'll be directing it to Wale. It says, is it possible for someone with OND in science laboratory tech to study architecture in a university in Canada?
Yes, absolutely. You having an OND is a diploma, right? And then if you want to study another program in another field of study, that's totally different from what you currently have. Um, Applying to a BSc program in architecture in Canada would only require your O-level results. That's your WAEC or either your NECO, right? You can put in your application for that, except the school requests that, oh, have you had a post-secondary education? And then you can now choose to give up that information that you've had an OND in one field of study, right? But if you want to proceed to study architecture in a university in Canada, yes, absolutely, you can.
Thank you so much, Wale. So I hope you've gotten clarification on your question. I have another question. So we'll still be wrapping up the question and answer segment. So if you have any question, I think I still have room for one more question. But let me ask this, and if you have any other question, feel free to drop it in the Q&A box. So this question, I would also be directing it to you, Wale. So this person Emmanuel is asking, do Canadian schools require WES evaluation? So WES, WES evaluation, do they all require, I think this is two questions in one, right? Do Canadian schools require WES evaluation, and do they all require IELTS?
The answer is yes and no. Well, I'll start with no first because naturally you don't need a WES evaluation to secure admission. You don't need IELTS to also secure admission in Canada, right? So most institutions in Canada would require that you have a certain score in your WAEC for your English language, right? It could be C6 and above. Some institutions also accept C5 and above. Some even accept B3. If you don't have B3 in English, you go and do IELTS, or you find, other means to show proficiency in English language. So it all boils down to the institution you are trying to apply to, and also your WAEC result or NECO result as well. Do you meet that requirement? Speaking about WAEC and NECO as well, if you have a second sitting, so let's say your first WAEC, right, you had let's say E8 in your English language, and then your second WAEC, you were able to secure C6 and above, and the institution in Canada you are applying to requires C6, right? You can use, both WAEC results, right, to apply to that institution. Yeah, so it all boils down to your result as well. Do you meet the requirements? If you don't meet your WAEC or NECO requirements, you can then, try to write an IELTS or other English proficiency test to show to meet their requirements and get your admission. And then for the WES evaluation, I'll say you don't need a WES evaluation except select programs in some selected institutions as well. And these are programs that are more hinging towards like the science and technological side, right? They would want to see, the subjects that you've done in your let's say you want to go for a master's in science and technology, and you have a BSc from Nigeria or any other country, right? You have a BSc in, let's say, business, for instance, right? So they would want to see your courses individually to see if you meet some certain requirements that would make you have an understanding of what you want to do in your computer science or your master's in computer science in Canada. So they would have to request a WES evaluation, right? Because WES would list out, all your programs to do a course by course evaluation, and then your school can, see the subjects that, that they require or that you would require as a prerequisite to applying for that master's program. So I would say not all schools request that, and you don't need a WES evaluation as well. So if you need more clarification, you could book a consultation with us, and we can speak to you further on that. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Wale, for that robust answer. That was very profound. So thank you so much. I think I have asked every question that I saw here, and I don't think I'll be taking any further questions. So this will bring me to the end of our section today. Thank you all. Thank you so much for staying with us. Thank you for joining and for staying till the end. I really hope that you are leaving this webinar with a very clear understanding of how student loan works, what the application process is like. Also, you're excited about the opportunities that Algoma University offers, what their admission requirements are like, their programs, like you have all that clear understanding. And you're also confident that we, at Seamless Visa, we are here to hold your hand through every step of your journey. So from school selection, so from getting the right schools for you to applying to these schools, so even writing your statement of purpose, to helping you with scholarship, and even helping you with student loans. So we have Apply Board, our partners, so we can also, we have the direct relationship with them. So if you also want student loans, we are here for you. And also finally, your visa application process. So basically, like I said, we're starting this journey with you from beginning till the end. So thank you so much, guys, for joining this section. And I would advise, very important, right, that you would join our WhatsApp channel. I think the link, I just dropped the link in the chat box. Join our WhatsApp channel, because if you have any questions, we drop a lot of scholarship opportunities as they hot. Like immediately it's coming out, we're dropping the scholarship opportunities on that channel. That is like the first place to get such opportunities, to get tips. If you also want to speak with us, it's through that place. You can also reach out to say, oh, I want a consultation. Or you can follow us on all our social media platforms. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're on TikTok. We are on Twitter, and all the links are already in this chat box. So as I'm speaking, before this meeting ends, I will advise that you click on all these links, join the WhatsApp channel, follow us on all our social media platforms. And if you have any questions, of course, you can email us at admissions@seamlessvisa.com. I mean, everybody that attended this webinar, you're going to be getting emails from us. You're going to be getting some guides and checklists, just like Chibuzo initially mentioned, that you'll be getting like a full list of loan eligible schools in Canada, and even their courses and programs. Those are the kind of emails you'd also get from us in subsequent days and weeks coming. So thank you guys so much. I hope you really enjoyed this section, and please do follow us on all our social media platforms. Thank you. And I mean, we will not be leaving this webinar without me thanking our speakers. So thank you, Chibuzo. Thank you, Chamberlain. Thank you, Adewale, for your time. I mean, I know you guys are very busy, but you had that time slot for us. So thank you so much. We really appreciate. And yeah, thank you guys also for joining. For some people, it's very early. I know some people who are not in Nigeria, it's pretty much early for you guys to be here, but you took your time out to be here. So thank you so much. And that is the end of this segment today. I remain your host, Kiss Samuel. So bye, guys. Thank you.